it's a good day. Hey, everybody, it's a good day. Why? Because I woke up and decided it would be, simply put, and I'm in a good part of my cycle. Um, okay, let's shit to the chat. We're still not doing any tarot. That's just off limits for the stream. I'm still always taking personal readings. You can book a personal reading here on my website, and then if you click the Mystico tab, and it has a list of different. There is supposed to be a description that's through to the detail description, and it doesn't, and I haven't figured out why yet. So I'm working on that. But if you have any questions, you can message me via the website or here. Not doing readings on the channel anymore. I don't know if I'll ever come back to it because God and Nico and my guides don't want me to do it on here anymore. And that's the only 3 people I need. Well, guides being plural. They still are 1 people for some reason. Yeah, we gotta roll the ads. Always do. Sucks you have to watch one. They force you to watch one. I can't turn it off. And then they're like, oh, and we also can't guarantee we're not going to roll ads at any given second unless you roll ads right now. I'm like, that's kind of bullshit, but all right, I guess we're going to feed the machine. So it is hungry. We'll be back in 3. All right. Oh, welcome back to the chat. I wonder if the lag for you is as bad as the lag Okay, so we're back. Yeah, ballin' for Barbie is definitely like that's the move. That's for sure the new hashtag. I cannot handle it. Okay. I can handle it because I'm amazing. Love that for myself. Cool. So hashtag ballin' for Barbie. What's up though, everybody? How's it going? How is it going? Everybody meaning you and me. That's everybody. You do not have to say, do not feel like you're being held captive. One time I was rewatching my stream and I did that where I like was moving my mouth and censored myself and I thought the audio cut out until I remembered what I was saying. I was like, damn, that's pretty good. Um, okay, so anyways, I'm in a really chill, goofy mood. Yeah, right? Right? I'm really overwhelmed, but I'm very happy. Even though there's like kind of some kind of terrible stuff going on, some kind of amazing stuff going on, some kind of mysterious, unknown stuff going on. I can't really decide how else to feel except to just give everything my all and be dancing and singing all the time as my usual self. I feel like in the past month, I somehow have more or less overcome PMDD. I do know how. It was a combination of things. It was a lot of things. I had to do so much, but I'm like, oh, this could work. This could be it. And when I take that out of the equation, when I take out the freak out episodes that sometimes last for hours, days, weeks, and can take fucking months, this Barbie is so out of here, can take months to recover from. Okay. I've lost jobs, I've lost friends, I've destroyed relationships, I've torn apart families. Like, okay. So if I can overcome that cycle and I remove that part of myself, and that's really the only bad part of me, besides the fact that I am very fucking annoying. I'm very annoying. I annoy myself. I literally don't even realize sometimes that I am talking, and I'm like, damn, if you could just shut the fuck up for a second. Holy shit. You're so annoying, and it's like me to me, and I love myself. I think I'm constantly laughing at my own jokes, cracking myself up, having conversations, rooting myself on, being my biggest cheerleader. Let me tell you, I love the work that I do. I get so excited to share. I just internet stalked myself. Well, I was looking at right. I can't talk about this. I can and I will. I was fucking stalking somebody on fucking Facebook because they're hot and I like them. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stalk my fucking self because I'm hot and I like me. And I fucking went so far back and it was a delight. It was literally a delight. Like it was delightful. Okay. I am awesome. Don't get me wrong. I love always have even with the MDD, I did not get a hold of so bad. I was like, I'm sure you're okay. So I love Wednesday. But oh my fucking god, if I am not annoying. Like I have to be something, right? Like I cannot just oh my god, I'm so annoying. I kind of just never stop. And I didn't realize when I could overcome the PNDD that my period physically will slow me down for a few days, few hours a day at a time or whatever. But I kind of wake up, hopping the fuck out of bed and jumping around immediately and then do that until I fucking pass out and go to sleep. Oh my god. The way we all spoke in like 2015 and 16 was so cringy, but that's the only part of my life that is cringe, was that era. But the funny thing is, that is the era that has these bitches in a motherfucking chokehold, okay? My Yo Freaky B era was hands down easily the most embarrassing, the most cringe, and the absolute worst, most detestable version of myself. But it has these bitches in a chokehold to this day. And I don't really understand why. But okay, I do. Because, like, yeah, now I'm a more refined version of that and killing it totally awesome. All the other stuff I said. But once more, increasingly annoying. It's like the healthier I get, the more annoying I become because I'm a hyperactive, can't be stopped superhero. something, you know. Thra! Insert your, you can say something else and it seemed even more obvious than superhero, but that's okay. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's like literally not their fault. It's not their fault. It's nobody's fault. Okay, I guess. I'm Mikey. I rock. I'm Mikey. I rock. Okay, let's all calm down, right? I've been acting like this for days on end. Yes, yes. Supersonic, hyperactive, melodramatic, bitch. Me. That was bitch. Yeah, yeah. But really slowed down. See what I'm saying? Let's tone down the unhinged part of the night. Thank you. You rock. You're a delight. It's lovely to have you here. Thank you for keeping me company. Good. Anyways, once again, trying to chill. I have been drinking a lot of coffee lately. I went from having nothing but a French press and only drinking a cup and a half of coffee at a time, some days when I felt like it, and intermittently drinking pop that has half the amount of caffeine that a cup of coffee does. Lately, I've been making a pot of coffee anywhere between 10 and 12 cups and drinking it over the course of anywhere between 1 and 3 days. I also did have a double shot of espresso today because I got ice cream and I was like, I need an affogato. I need an affogato. I don't care if nobody's gonna make it for me. I'll make it for me. I'm gonna get my motherfucking ice cream. I'm gonna get my fucking doppio. And I'm gonna affogato. Yeah. Does your vocal cords be affected by coffee? That's so weird that you say that because I've been thinking my voice sounds fucking incredible, crispy, clean lately. But that's also part of my cycle where like because I'm coming off of the one going into the other, right? And like what's a pot to you? That's what I was saying is like a pot of coffee to me would be like if I drank 5 cups in a day, I'm drinking the full pot. Like if I have a cup of coffee, but I don't think I can do 10 anymore. I used to just live like that, where I would just drink a whole 10. It's just so nuts. But I grew up drinking coffee, so I didn't think I was like a full grown, way too old of an adult to be realizing that coffee was for adults and like not something you should drink copious amounts of unless you are okay with being addicted to a drug. Like I don't know, I just did not cross my mind until I was probably like 22 years old, right? That's kind of insane. Very wild. I love life though, and I have been feeling good lately. So yeah, and I think allergies will also probably dry out your throat. And it's springtime, it's that time of year. So you can tell it like you've put the whole thing in there and then you're like brew half this, brew the other half later, or that's really cool. Very cool. I just drink it literally all day long. Like, I don't really keep track, but at this point, the coffee I made yesterday, the 10 cups of coffee I made, yes, I hope that was yesterday. That was yesterday. Yeah, it had to be yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Okay, yes, yesterday. I made like 11 cups of coffee. Today it's gone. Oh, it's not gone. I actually have the last cup right here. Cheers. Cheers to my coffee drinkers. And so this came out. You know, that's the thing. I used to depend on coffee, especially because I was a barista multiple times in life, where it was normal for me to have like 6 to 8 shots of espresso in a day, if not more than that. Like that was just normal. The more like 9 to 12 at certain points because we would take shots while we were working and just be like, cheers, everybody. And I was fucking like, I'm a pro coffee drinker. You know, I've been doing this since I was 3 years old. So like I know my shit. I know my coffee. Why do I use shit so much? I don't like that. I know my coffee. I know my beans. I know my boys. Okay. So I would be like, give me a double whenever we would take a shot. And eventually I'd just be like, give me a triple. But then we would take like more than one shot in a day. So it's like I'd make my drink with 3 shots in it, and then I would take 2 shots with 3 shots in it. So then it's already up to 9. So if I had a second drink, a cup of coffee, like that's I'm kind of like, so I didn't die, huh? My heart didn't just, you know, what in the actual fuck? Crazy. Because that's crazy. The fact that I weaned myself off of that kind of insane amounts is not only shocking and impressive, but also very, very intended. Kind of realized, not just because of the barista job, but just in general. Like I had never gone a day without coffee until I was really way old, way too old, way too grown to have not ever gone a day without it. Like, that's wild. So I think I do have like a hyperactive speed brain, probably. And then if you add caffeine, it gets even more hyperactive speed. Um, so it's just like a lot. I love how much I can get done. I just drink like a whole pot of coffee. Oh, sometimes I don't need it though. And then sometimes it's like, I don't need it, have it anyway. Oh, see, I'm annoying. Now I'm annoying. It's crazy how they can. I told myself I needed to calm down and not be so hype, and here we are. It takes a minute sometimes, but I gotta chill out. I'm good. But anyway, kind of this has been a funny 20 minutes. It's not 15, 17, right in between. Um, what else is going on, y'all? I just got super tired. Are y'all tired? Did somebody fall asleep? One of the 2 people talking to me fell asleep. Oh my god, somebody's really tired. And I'd be willing to bet it's not me that's exhausted, considering I'm usually up all the time, just started streaming, and I'm literally drinking coffee right now. So somebody's really tired. Somebody just wake up and come on here. That's what it is. We just got our 3rd viewer. Somebody just woke up. Momo, maybe. Don't know. Happened last night though. Or not last night, but last time I streamed. Ayo, it's Dom. Okay. Did you just take a nap or something? What's up, Dom? I love how everyone is pink on here. It's so cute. Like, we keep it that way. Sometimes it's confusing, but I don't care. Yeah, I can tell. I guess, yeah. Well, yeah, it's dude, I was just so hype. It was crazy, and then I got really tired, but I think it's because the very human Gregor must sleep during human sleeping hours for a very human Gregor. Okay. Yeah, so it's only like 4:42 in Sydney right now. So I can imagine you're just chilling this afternoon. We are in Barbie mode, and this Ken is crazy. Personally, feeling that. Okay. Um, this Ken is amped up. This Barbie is sleepy. This Barbie is sexy. But this Ken is crazy. Whoa, what? Yeah. Don't worry about it. No, chill, please. Yeah. It was Midge. Why should I do it like that? It's because I'm in a goofy mood. It's because I'm just real silly, illy hours of the morning. And when I tell you time is passing so slow right now. Okay, here's the thing. There's 2 things I want to do right now. One is write a song, and one is read. And I can kind of do both of those things on stream. Totally forgot we were reading Ram Dass on here. I could tell you about the project I'm working on because I'm getting to the point where it's like really shaping up. but I kind of went fucking crazy and went into overdrive. And I was like casually painting some shoes. And then it was like, okay, I'm going to write a song to go with the shoes. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to write a whole storyboard and draw pictures and create an entire story for the song that I'm writing, which is someone else's song, anyways, kind of writing the words. Um, but it's shaping up, so I'm really excited about it. It's been very hard to get me away from it. Today, the only reason I wasn't working on it all day is because I got out and had like so much fun. Like it was literally so much fun. I just fucked around, found out, right? Like, oh my god, I loved it. Okay. Um, I totally like oh my god. Okay, I'm so distracted. Um, very distracted. It's really distracting thoughts. So sorry, I'm trying to rein it in. It's a little embarrassing. I got caught a little off guard. Okay. Um, but anyways, no, I got distracted because then I'm like, that's not you, is it? It don't make any sense. I was just thinking about this. Who's asking? Who's asking? When I say distracted, it was sort of like at first I thought it was me, and then it started to feel like a third party came in these things. But anyways, that was weird, right? And then they laughed. Okay, that was weird. Anyways, today, only thing that could really pull me out from this project that I've been going fucking hard as hell on for the past like 2 days is doing whatever the fuck I wanted, right? So me and the roomie went out to go walk at the trails, you know. Lurkers do derail the stream, and that's why I bitch about them sometimes, is because if someone comes on here casually lurking, I'll wait until there's a huge number of lurkers, you know, to be like, what's with all the lurkers tonight? But when somebody comes on here because they personally want to know what the fuck I'm up to and what I'm doing, want to know my business and want to interrupt my stream because it's personal to them because they personally know me, that is derailing. It's the same as if a complete stranger and somebody really spiritually needy and really just needs your undivided attention and just really needs to like get everything from you that they possibly can without even really asking or knowing or deserving it in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, that annoying. Those kind of lurkings are what derails the streams. Casual viewers who just want to kind of know what I'm about and what I'm doing and just are catching a random tarot stream on Twitch, no big deal. Love them. Totally support lurker energy in that way. It's the suckers. We'll call them the suckers. There's like lurkers and then there's suckers. They don't really like suckers around here. Because, I always said it ain't lollipop because I ain't a fucking sucker and I don't suck dick, so I guess I'm not a ducker, but I bring the fucker so that must be a fucker. That's a little original. That was, yeah, so funny. I think I already did that one on here because then I kept going, right? Long way down, picking up a basket case. I don't know, maybe I wasn't rapping. Um, I was thinking about that today. How everything I've ever done coincides with everything that I do nowadays. And I love that in so many ways we could have never predicted this because a lot of these things that we do don't even exist or didn't exist at the time that we were manifesting, creating, predicting, or whatever. Right? Kind of a beautiful thing. Um, anyways, I can't Um, we got a new energy coming in. Is that you? Yes? I don't see the view count change yet, so either it's lacking or there's somebody who didn't click the stream. I don't know, that it feels like there's an accent popping out of me, doesn't it? Um, I don't know what I'm doing fidgeting like this. It's this very distracted energy. I don't know what the hell's going on. I feel like anybody who was on here at the beginning of the stream saw that my energy was very hype and wound up and talking about how I don't shut up and I'm so annoying and blah 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 blah. Sure, I smoked, whatever. I smoked before the stream too, and I still was hyper and annoying. I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna be this way. And now I feel like I kind of want to say shy and nervous. Because I am looking down, twiddling my thumbs, spinning this shit around, blah, 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 blah. What am I doing? I kind of don't even know. What the fuck? Okay. Don't. I don't know. What the fuck? That's so weird. Who is feeling that way? Um, got lost in thought. Part of me would like to do tarot sometimes. Sometimes I want to know, but that's the thing is like if I'll be curious with all of you. I don't do it for myself unless it's like I'm already doing it on stream and I'll just pull a few cards before or after for me. Dom, you finally got your wish. I'm done doing tarot on stream. Beach. It's always more happen when I'm talking. And I did start really late tonight. And I don't really have anything much interesting to say or to add. I got out today, so I very much will forget to leave the house if I'm working and going fucking hard as hell like I have been the past couple days, and just generally do because I've run my own little business and I the work I do is constant. There's never not work that I'm doing, and I go work for the coven some usually once, but sometimes more than once a week, and I just kind of can't like fathom everything, right? Tarot can be spooky. I'm spooky though. Like I'm kind of spooky regardless. Don't you think? That there's something I grabbed my Aquarius incense. I don't know if there's an Aquarius watching. I have an Aquarius moon. And I was saying I was spooky, so I went for the Aquarius. So maybe you're an Aquarius moon too. I don't know. I'm kind of spooky. I don't need the tarot to make me any spookier, is the thing. Because we have done some psychic energy readings and we did the whole immersive like, I stopped doing tarot, and then that night that I decided not to do tarot anymore, I don't know if y'all were here for this, but we did the Matrix uploaded. Like, it was really weird. And we just went into the grid. And I was just kind of calling stuff out for people. And it was the craziest thing because it was like, how the fuck is she doing it? Where the fuck did she go? And what the fuck does she do? Because, like, what was that? That was crazy. And I was getting all kinds of information from people just by kind of walking in, and that was nuts. But that creeps people out, and I can understand that. And that's why and how I think that I have remained humble as much as people don't think I have, or it doesn't really fully sound like I am, because I'll hype myself up as much as I do. But that's literally why I hype myself up so much and remind myself and others how truly amazing I am. Because we also have to recognize that, like, I'm really creepy and there's no way around it and there's no turning it off because even when I am taking a break from my practices, stuff like that will still happen. And if I'm not channeling or practicing or letting it out or releasing it or accepting the messages for what they are, that is what drives me to the points of insanity that I have experienced, is ignoring it, letting it bottle up, pretending it's not going on, pretending like I can completely turn it off, pretending like it doesn't exist. It hurts from within, and that hurts without. So I can't just stop it. I mean, I can stop it, but it feels funky. It feels wrong. It feels like nothing's right and it goes wrong. It just goes like I'm just moving along and And the PMDD is a lot worse when I have no way to reckon or channel with the creation and the sacrificial nature and ritualistic cycle of my human feminine body. Okay. Deep. Yeah, always. I'm always like this about everything. It's very hard, I think, for people to understand the way that I can connect to others because I can feel and think and analyze things as deeply as I do. People are included in that. It's not exclusive to anything, the way that I think and feel in this way with such depth. That can apply to people just as much, which can be very annoying for others because it's like, don't project onto me. And it's like, no, I'm sorry. It's something that just happens. I try to be respectful in the same way of Sookie Stackhouse, right? Where she kind of stays out of the minds of her loved ones for the most part, but sometimes it's hard if I'm too tired to consciously keep it toned down, you know? And it's like, oh God, I need to go to sleep because I'm in there. It's kind of wild. Um, and I've let people make me doubt myself. I've let people do that to me where they didn't believe so much, so strongly, and it became hatred because they would spend so much time with me that they could no longer deny that I had a gift, but they never wanted to believe in those things. And so they chose not to. Yeah. And therefore, all they did was not believe in me, even though I was right in front of them, practicing, doing, being myself. Okay. The same way I do now. That's hype as hell. Okay. So, oh, aren't you glad I can go from being that annoying to just being chill? I can switch. I can actually control myself, contain myself, and handle myself. But I do love to allow myself to be joyous and free and kind of run wild with life and things like that. Because if I am trying to be too tame all the time, I think I lack fun and spontaneity and surprise, and that is very important to keep spice in life, right? So I have to let myself run wild and to go be everything that I am, and allow myself to flee flighting dance. Yes, flee a flighting dance. I don't know what that really means. It doesn't really make sense, but it came to mind. Okay. Yeah, like maybe it's not actually flee the flying dance, say it really fast. Maybe it means something else. Flee the flying dance. The flying flee the flighting dance. Flee the flying dance. Flee the flying dance. Flee the flying dance. I don't know. Flee the flying dance. Flee the la 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 la. It worked. Something else I said. When we said it a bunch of times, it became something else, and it was somebody's name or something weird. Googled it and it came up, so it could mean something for somebody. But um, cool. Kind of don't know what else to talk about. I appreciate y'all being here, and I know that some of y'all tired, and it's just like times of the day for other people. But I don't know what else to say. I guess I was going to talk about that project. Well, I feel a tired energy anytime I stop talking. It's kind of like I'm just lulling people to sleep, and that's fine too. That's cool. I get that. Oh, I should grab the book then, and we should just read. Since I haven't really been reading, I bought. Oh my god, bought more books today. They were used books, so they're cheap as fuck. All right, so I'm telling you about my day. Next commercial break, I'll grab some books. And, oh, and I can show you the shoes. I got updates on the shoes. Okay, so today I broke away from my projects and my works because I'm working on this poster board, storyboard. I'm working on the shoes and I'm working on a song. So right now the song I'm just measuring out and I'm trying to get used to the music before I actually write it down. Got this story of what the lyrics will be about, and somehow as a writer, songwriter and otherwise, the lyrics are the last component to this. And the only important thing I need to do is the lyrics. The rest of this is just bullshit I'm fucking making up as I go. The lyrics is like the only thing you need for a song that's already music. Just like write it. And it's like, yeah, but I'm gonna fucking go all in and go deep dive and do a whole backstory and make sure it's perfect and write it all out and make sure it makes sense and then kind of tell it cohesively into 6 sectioned parts and blah blah blah. I gotta have all this art and okay, dude, sure. Sure. I thought you were a writer, you'd just do a quick but whatever. Well, it's 25 minutes. Well, That's, well, 24 minutes and 39 seconds. That's approximately 6 minute increments. So I like measured out where the song changes, kind of jotted some things down, and did the backstory so then I can write accordingly. And it's kind of telling the four parts, right? Because it's four separate timelines. If you look at it's an already existing song. It's an already existing song. It's random. I can send it to you later if you want. Poilies ripped it for me. I don't know if what I'm doing is like legal, but I think it'll be fine. Like I don't think anybody's gonna care, right? I think actually maybe they would love this, and they probably wanted me to do something like that, because they love when people do anything like this. I don't know, kind of, but seems like they were. Well, let's not go into it. Let's not go into details. Let's not go into details. Let's not talk too much about details. I have a fucking song. It's not mine. It's not anybody's. It is somebody's. It's not mine. It's like a cover, but there's not really any words. We did talk about this, and I did bring up it's the same. Yeah, no, I know. I do the same thing over again. And it didn't really work the first time, but a parody is great. That's great. But no, this is backstory. It's part 3. So it's very cool. It's actually very cool. I think they're going to like it. It's like a little gift. I'm trying to get it done by the time they go play again, but there's no way I could have it done in 2 days. I don't even have it written yet. You know what I mean? Like, God, that was so silly. I didn't even think to do it. I didn't even think to do it until it was like a week to when I'd want it to be done, right? And then I had the brain frogs because I was still on my period when I decided this. So I was like, man, I can't really create, but I can do this and that, like put the poster board up and like paint it a little bit and like listen to the song. And that was about it for like the first 3 days. So then like I've been going ham, like I said, on the backstory, right, for like the past 2 days. But now I only have 2 days left to write and record it. It was so silly, it was so stupid. And I need to record it on Wednesday when I can, you know, based on my current conditions. So I have to write it today, tomorrow, whatever. And then I gotta send it to you, Dom, and you gotta make it sound good. And then it's on you to have it done by Thursday. And then I don't care anymore. And if you can't, then I can't. And that doesn't matter. Then it's nobody's fault. And then there is no deadline because it didn't matter in the first place. It was all arbitrary. I figured you can because you make an album every month. So I'm like, damn, Dom, I should be. Because you. Um, fuck yeah, you're awesome. You're gorgeous and amazing in so many ways, Dom. I know that about you. I noticed that with your album thing. I was like, damn, he was for real. He decides something to do it. And I like that. I can't remember your birthday though. Are you a Leo too? That's real? Can't remember. Or no, Capricorn. You're Capricorn. You gotta be kidding me. Cool. Love that. Fox. Virgo. You're lying. You're not a Virgo. You definitely make up your fucking birthday. You're a fucking liar. Because one time you told me you were Sagittarius, and I just listed 2 other signs I thought you were, and now you're gonna tell me Virgo? You're fucking lying, Dom. I kind of still feel like you're just making shit up. No way. Were you with Virgo the whole time? I think you're just copying Polaroid Boy. You just literally lie. I can't believe anything you say. You're gonna have to show me your ID. You're gonna have to show me your ID. I don't believe you. I can go watch all of my streams. I can literally go watch all my streams and prove how many times you have lied to me. I could be confusing you with somebody else. You're not wrong. You're like absolutely not wrong. No, I get it. I might actually just be confusing you with someone else. It's fine. What is this? Oh, your birthday. Okay, I'll follow you. What is this? RYN? I can't follow you. I don't have an account. Oh, rate your music. I rate this amazing, by the way. I love his stillness cover. I don't know why it's not letting me click off of this website, Dom. What did you do? My whole computer is frozen now. Am I still connected to the stream? Yeah. Okay. Is this a good website? What the fuck? There we go. It just needed a second, I guess. Um, cool. Good. Cool. Love it. Love you. You're awesome. You're rad. Totally hate your dad. Okay. Cool. That's great. Good. So yeah, trying to do this. Been like addicted to it. Not addicted to it, but I'm like, I love giving myself some arbitrary deadline just to get stuff done in a week, right? Because otherwise, if I take too long, I think too much and then I decide either to not do it or I decide that it sucks or I just like lose steam and just like abandon projects all the time. Or like it's mostly me overthinking it and being like I shouldn't do this. So try to get stuff done real quick, right? Um, but today I was like, I need to get out of the house. I forget. I forget. I'm just like, fuck it. I don't really need to go anywhere. I'll go somewhere when someone needs me to go somewhere. Great. No, today I had to get out. Fucked around. Went to the fucking woods. Oh, girl. Walk some trails. Do a little this and that. Gotta love that, yeah. And then go to get ice cream. Yum. Had to make my affogato. Told you about that. Um, delicious, divine. Love it, love it, love it. Just some espresso to the self. Amazing. Ice cream on its own. So good. Both at the same time. Excellent. Okay. And then went to the library. Not just any library. Went to a library with some used books right in there for sale. And I got this stash. Oh my God, you don't even know. You don't even know. Insane. Beautiful. So good. I had to put so many things back that I wanted to buy so badly that I was like, you know what? Someone else will find these. They will be so happy. Oh, yeah. And there were some things that I said, no, I am the one meant to find these. And they made me so happy. One example would be a book that I almost bought from Barnes& and Noble literally last week when I bought books. I've been buying a lot of books lately. That's what we're going to read on the stream because I haven't been reading as much as I have been buying books at this point. I did good. I started my Kim Gordon um, memoir and then I stopped. And it was partially brain frogs, and now it's partially because I'm very distracted and maybe blindsided by this project. Um, but I can't focus that long on reading, and I want to. I'm in my reading era again. I haven't been a big reader since I was a kid. Again, it's been like 10 years since I read like a full novel. The last couple of years, I read a few books, started a bunch of books, didn't finish most of them. Finished two of the shortest, easiest books that I had. One of them was literally this big. So, yeah, I'm kind of trying to force myself to read more by getting interesting books and realizing that reading will never be a lost art form. And I will always love it and I'll always have books. Fuck you, bitch. How about that? Who was that for? Okay. Yeah. Oh my God, you're back. I'm Mikey. I rock. I'm Mikey. I rock. I don't know how you could think that I still wouldn't fucking know that when I literally just talked about the whole Matrix and stuff. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. So we're still gonna fucking play around. That's so weird. Okay. Go home. Go home. Okay, cool. The thing about Twitch is that everybody gets to do it from home. We get it. So sorry to hear about everything. Can you please leave me alone? Thank you so much. Okay. Um anyway, y'all want to see the shoes? Bought some books. I'm gonna start reading again. Today's collection, Good Grace. Um Came home and immediately started painting. So before I left for the day, I finished my storyboard. Fucked around for hours on end doing whatever the hell I wanted. Came home, was painting, and then I rested for a bit in between the painting and the streaming. And I only stopped painting because I kind of ran out of sunlight. And I just think you got to know how they look in actual lighting. And I don't really care if they don't look good in any other lighting but sunlight. So I got to finish them tomorrow. I was so set on finishing them today, but then I realized that I am so meticulous. And this is why I do quick paintings and usually don't do anything too detailed, recognizable, or replicated because I am too much of a perfectionist. It's gotta just be messy and like the first thing that comes to mind is just like the first take and just a bunch of lines and whatever because okay, oh my God. Oh, I can already feel like practicing Oh my god. Oh my god. Please stop. Please go away. Please. Please, 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 please go away. Um, because that's crazy. Just please go away. Please stop watching my stream. Please stop watching me. Please get over it. It was so many years ago. I know that I should not entertain it by even talking about it to anyone, especially not addressing you while you're on the stream. Please fucking go away. Okay? Please. Anyway. They're right here. I don't have to go anywhere to grab. It's not you, Dom. Domovan. Whatever your name is. Dominic. Domovich. Dama. Dommy. Mommy. Baby. Boy. Yes. No. Please stay. Okay. 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 Gonna show you my shoes. I'm excited about them. They're somewhat cool, I think. So like the back's the portal entryway. This I kind of like. The Minovich. Yeah, that's good. I kind of am starting to like this, but I feel like it needs more green to look more like a portal or something. And then classic, not my design, obviously. I thought about adding to the background, but I was afraid that I'd fuck it up too much because it's kind of solid where it's at, you know? Thank you. And then I chose to do 22 because when you're 22, even though the album's 25, but then it's also the 21st anniversary, so it's like I'm not gonna do whatever. I'm 22. I'm not 22. I did 22. And then this, I also am like, this isn't giving the right vibe. I don't know what the fuck I did. Way too many layers here. I thought the silhouette with the pink boots would be a good idea. I thought this was fine, and then I traced it today, and it's way too dark. I don't know what the fuck, right? Okay. But then this too, where I used the glue and the glue absorbed into the shoe, which I was really surprised by. It's just like Elmer's, and I thought it would be like texture and be like, I don't know, it just melted into the shoe. So I couldn't do that either. So I got to figure something else out because she looks cool, but the lightning's not really looking like lightning to me. It doesn't look like blue electricity because that's like my whole thing is the blue electricity and like some lightning bugs or whatever, leaves and stuff flying around. And then I want to add more blood because this looks good. I got to repaint it. This is cool. But then like the other shoe I'll show you. And I got to clean the top part up. But then I realized like because I want to paint some of this, I can't paint this until I clean it, but I can't clean this until I seal this, which is why I'm trying to see it like finish this so quickly. And I hate that. Because yeah, but this shoe, I should have cleaned them before I did it, but I wanted this dirty when I painted it. Maybe I should keep that method for these top part too, but well, yeah, I guess I could. You know what? But I wasn't gonna paint the whole thing. We'll just clean whatever. No, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Um, so this shoe, the back's just ass. I'm still working on her. I cannot figure out. Her body looks better, but it's this weird curved angle makes her ass just look huge and like out, and it's like she's supposed to be crawling. See, from this angle, I totally get where I was coming from. From this angle, what in the actual fuck's going on there? Right. So whatever. And then this, like the Mystics play on the Mystics vibe, right? An old design I did way back in the day, and then turn the shoe more. I don't know, don't even remember. Oh yeah, this robot, and then I went with 31 because that's my age now. And this, I thought I fucked this up, but it does look pretty good. Working shoes, hell yeah. Working shoes. Um, yeah. This was weird though, right? Because I started to add color to make it look more like a desert sunset. But I left, like I didn't want to get too close. But then this, okay, have fun, Dom. And then this was just not, I don't know. It looks kind of fine though. I think it's not as confusing as it seemed when I was painting it up close when you hold it back a little bit, yeah? So I think they're pretty cool. I like them a lot so far. So cool. I think they're so close to being done. They're literally so close to being done. We just have to figure out how to make her not look so getting fucked all the time. Well, fuck it. Let her be. Let her fucking be getting fucked, okay? Um You know, everybody needs. Everybody needs. Yeah. So this shoe, I was wanting to add more blood because the seal, I don't know what the fuck I did. It's like coming out too much on this shoe where it's like might as well glue it all the way and just drip more blood here. Um and a little bit here, right? So I think that would be cool. Yeah. Those are the shoes. So you can imagine why I'm just so caught up in inside. It's summertime. And right next, I got a lot of light in here, a lot of sunlight, a lot of windows. Love it, you know. So all day long, I'm like, what do I need to go outside for? I'm pretty much outside right now. It's like, that's not how that works. Let's leave the house. Okay, good point. Cool, cool, cool. Um, that's yeah. That's cool. Um, I love them. I don't like the little platform spot. That's vague. I gotta fix the lightning. I gotta fix the dome. I gotta fix Girl Yoshimi. I don't know. The crawling one, it's not bothering me as much when I look at the whole thing. I feel like I can't even worry about it. I gotta just have them done. And I think she's on the inside. So what difference does it make? It's not gonna be. Doesn't matter. Anyways, um, cool. So I'm very distracted by my work lately because that's the work I'm doing this moment this week. In addition to some other things, but sometimes I let stuff go to the wayside just because. Like I forced myself to stream because I didn't feel like it. I wasn't going to be honest with you. And then decided I should because I probably will tomorrow, whatever. Might not this weekend. I don't really know yet. You know. Um. Um. Okay. Distracted again. Damn. Somehow we only have 10 minutes until the pre-rolls. So I think what I'm going to do is roll them. I'm going to grab the Ram Dass book and I'm going to read a little bit. And then I'm probably going to go so I can write before I go to sleep. That sounds cool to anybody. It feels like everybody left. Don't know. I'll probably still read because again, I haven't been. Oh, you're back. Okay. Um, I'm rolling the ads because we only have 10 minutes until the timer goes off. And I'm gonna grab Be Here Now because we started reading it the other night and we need to keep going. Because we haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet. We're still in the introduction, and I was like, I'm too tired to do this. I'm gonna read a little bit and then I'm gonna go. We're not doing tarot. Be back in 3 minutes. Use your time wisely. those bugs buzzing around your head? Will they fly in the air as you comb your hair? Some will make you wish the mosquito bite. It was like I felt like a buzz in my head, and I thought of it, so it's the first thing that says buzz. Buzz of love, because that's what it does. Well, they fly in the air as you comb your hair. The spider up and down your windshield. The headlights. And they bite. And they bite. You can see them there. I think I already messed up the song. Who gives a shit? It was just a cute little thing because my head felt crazy for a second. Cause that's what it does. Well, they fly in the air as you comb your hair. So cute. Fly in the air, comb your hair. You'll never believe where we left off in Ram Dass. It's like, what the fuck? Turning on. Turning on. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, just catching up with us, we started Be Here Now the other night. So far, you didn't miss much. We're still working on the backstory of Ram Dass. If you care to hear the beginning of the book, you'll have to go and watch the stream from 2 nights ago. Not 2 nights ago, but like the stream I did 2 streams ago is what I should say. I think the last stream I was like too tired to read. The stream before that is when we started the book. So you can go watch it. The bookmark once more says, "Every hinge holds a door, every handle opens it." Love that. Yeah, that was original. That's me, actually. I said that. Love that. Okay. Can you please shut the fuck up and read? Yes, I can. Thank you so much. Turning on. That night that was chosen turned out to be the night of the biggest snowstorm of the year, and it was to be at Tim's home in Newton, a few blocks from the home of my parents, where I had been visiting for dinner. I plowed through the snow, came in, and we sat around the kitchen table, and there were about 3 or 4 of us, and we passed the bottle of pills, and I took my 10 milligrams. That was my preparation and my set and setting, but beyond that, I trusted Timothy. I had seen that Timothy had had a profound experience, and he was somebody with an intellect that I understood. I knew that he was not interpersonally destructive. He might be destructive of institutions, but not of individuals. He was a very loving person. Okay, they're trying to get me to warm up to Timothy next time I'm channeling people. They're like, come on, Tim's not a bad guy. Dude, I just don't give a shit. He was just so goofy. But I also didn't really care for Ram Dass until after I realized I could talk to him, and he kind of grew on me. What were they eating again? Mushrooms? Yeah, that's that. Like Aldous Huxley. That's so funny. Kind of forgot. No wonder I was so into him in high school. Kind of like, hold on. I need to. I need to take a second to like really revel in that. I did not realize that that was even. I don't think I realized. I can't even spell his name. Aldous is such a Aldous. I want to say Aldous. Aldous Huxley. I kind of must have known that. Yeah, in high school, don't you think? That he had some kind of connection to these people, and that's why I was into his books, or no? Maybe not. Maybe I didn't know. It's crazy they teach you about him in school. They're not going to for much longer. They're so worried about banning fucking gay shit, they don't even realize it. It's okay. Quiet. Um, we took a very small dosage. Later, we were using 5 or 10 times as much, and the first part of the experience was comparable to a strong pot high, I'd say. A little more dramatic, a little more intense. Clearly, though, something happened. During the first part of the experience with psilocybin, we got into a very low level tragicomedy type thing. Tim's son's dog had been running in the snow, and upon entering the warm kitchen lay gasping and panting. To our timeless minds, he struggled for breath. His struggle for breath continued too long, and we thought he was about to expire. What could we do? We could hardly carry the dog through a blizzard in the early Sunday morning to the vet's some 4 miles away, especially since we were all very high and thus not sure about the dog's state. It seemed our concern mounted, and the dog passed into a nearby room where it appeared to collapse. We finally decided the only path was to summon 11-year-old Jackie from the late TV show upstairs. What? Since he wasn't under a chemical influence, we would watch his interactions with the dog rather than frighten him with our own suspicions. Jackie was not pleased at being disturbed by us, merely to find out that he was watching on TV. But the problem was quickly solved by the dog, who, upon hearing Jackie's voice, leapt back to life, ready to play. These fucking idiots. No, come on. It was like 1955 or something. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They had to climb the Mount Pichu to fucking get the mushrooms or whatever, right? That's like his whole point. These are the pioneer stories of the day. You love to see it. Okay. That's the funny thing, is because for them it was, but not for anybody else. Cuernavaca, Cuernavaca, Cuernavaca. Okay. Um, Now, a few hours later, I had gone off by myself to reflect upon these new feelings and senses. A deep calm pervaded my being. The rug crawled and the pictures smiled, all of which delighted me. Then I saw a figure standing about 8 feet away, where a moment before there had been none. I peered into the semi darkness and recognized none other than myself, in cap and gown and hood, as a professor. It was as if that part of me, which was a Harvard professor, had separated or dissociated itself from me. How interesting. An external hallucination, I thought. Well, I worked hard to get that status, but I don't really need it. Again, I settled back into the cushions, separate from my professorness. But at that moment, the figure changed. Again, I leaned forward, straining to see. Ah, me again. But now it was that aspect of me who was a social cosmopolite. 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 Okay, so that goes too, I thought. Again and again, the figure changed, and I recognized over there all the different aspects I knew to be me: cellist, pilot, lover, and so on. With each new presentation, I again and again assured myself that I didn't need that anyway. Then I saw the figure become that in me which was Richard Alpertness. That is my basic identity. That had always been Richard. I associated the name with myself, and my parents called me Richard. Richard, you're a bad boy, so Richard had badness. Then Richard, aren't you beautiful? Then Richard has beauty. Thus developed all aspects of self. Sweat broke out on my forehead. I wasn't at all sure I could do without being Richard Alpert. Does that mean I'd have amnesia? Was that what this drug was going to do to me? Would it be permanent? Should I call Tim? Oh, what the hell. So I'll give up being Richard Alpert. I could always get a new social identity. At least I have my body. But I spoke too soon. Dun, dun, dun. As I looked down at my legs for reassurance, I could see nothing below the kneecaps, and slowly, now to my horror, I saw the progressive disappearance of limbs and then torso, until all I could see with my eyes open was the couch on which I had sat. A scream formed in my throat. I felt that I must be dying, since there was nothing in my universe that led me to believe in life after leaving the body. Doing without professorness or loverness or even Richard Alpertness, okay, but I need the body. The panic mounted. Adrenaline shot through my system. My mouth became dry, but along with this, a voice sounded inside what I don't know. An intimate voice asked very quietly and rather jocularly. It seemed to me, considering how distraught I was. Well, who's minding the store? When I could finally focus on the question, I realized that although everything by which I knew myself, even my body, and this life itself was gone, still I was fully aware. Not only that, but this aware I was watching the entire drama, including the panic with calm compassion. Instantly, with the recognition, I felt a new kind of calmness, one of a profoundly never aware I was watching the entire drama, including the panic, with calm compassion. Instantly, with this recognition, I felt a new kind of calmness, one of a profundity never experienced before. I had just found that that scanning device, that point, that essence, that experience, no, that place beyond, a place where I existed independent of the social and physical identity. That in which was placed beyond, a place where I existed independent of social and physical identity. It's psilocybin. Yeah, no, he's doing drugs. Welcome back. I looked up and your message didn't come through. Yeah, I think I felt when you said that. That's why I repeated the line I just said because I looked up a little bit and didn't notice anything. Looked back down, read it again, looked up and saw you. Yeah, love you, Dom. You rock. Dom fucking rocks and his music fucks. Um, Dom fucking rocks. Dom's music rocking fucks. Yeah. Love that. Okay, what a banger. You rock. Okay. Um, that's fun. Okay, so he's tripping balls, basically. For the first time. He's doing psilocybin for the first time. Okay. That which was I beyond life and death, and something else that I knew, it really knew. It was wise rather than just knowledgeable. It was a voice inside that spoke truth. I recognized it, was with one with it, and felt as if my entire life of looking on the outside world for reassurance, David Reisman's other directed being, was over. Now I need only look within to that place where I knew. Fear had turned to exaltation. I ran out into the snow laughing as huge flakes swirled about me. In a moment, the house was lost from view, but all was right because inside I knew. Around 5 in the morning, I walked back, plowing through the snow to my parents' home, and I thought, wouldn't it be nice? I'll shovel the walk. Young tribal buck shovels the walk. So I started the shovel walk, and my parents' faces appeared at the upstairs window. Come to bed, you idiot. No one shovels snow at 5 in the morning. And I looked up at them and I heard the external voice that I had been listening to for 30 years. And inside me, something said, it's all right to shovel snow and it's all right to be happy. And I looked up at them and, oh, wait. And I looked up at them and I laughed and I did it shoveling snow. And I looked up and inside they were too. Experience of giving a necktie. Great. Also, you can see the moment in the early morning in the seeds of the break, the ability to the ability to be able to confront. It's just the ability to confront. Um, or is it Richard? Richard? Can't even remember. That's impressive. Can't remember your fucking name. Good for you, Rom. Um, I'd literally just said it out loud too because I'm reading the book. Isn't that funny? Yeah, well, it wasn't that big of a dose. It was just really good mushrooms. They went up in the fucking mountains of fucking South America, and somebody had to go hand pick them. You know, these were and very, very good mushrooms. And it was also his first time. He was barely smoking weed at this point in his life. So that was kind of like, you know, um, the seeds of ability to be able to confront and even disagree with an existing institution and know and trust that inside place that says it's all right. It's something I could never have done without anxiety until up until that moment, until that day. Now I thought at the moment, wow, I've got it made. I'm just a new beautiful being. I'm just an inner self. I'll ever need is to look inside and I'll know what to do and I can always trust it and here I'll be forever. But 2 or 3 days later, I was talking about the whole thing in the past tense. I was talking about how I experienced this thing because I was back being that anxiety neurotic in a slightly milder form, but still my old personality was sneaking back up on me. Well, the next day I had to give my lecture in Social Relations 143, Human Motivation, and it presented me with a bit of a problem because I couldn't find anywhere in the psychology teachings anything about what had happened to me the night before. Now, what we did at first at Harvard was to tell all of our colleagues about the extraordinary thing that was happening to us, and they all shared our delight. As any scientist do with a fellow scientist finds a new avenue into the unknown. And so the first week they listened with delight. And then at the end of the first week, we all went back into our experimental cell, the living room, by the fire, and opened that bottle again and took some more psilocybin to chart this course further. A week later, oh my God. And the next week, we had shared deeper experience and we came back and we spoke to our colleagues. Now they couldn't hear us quite as well. It wasn't that they weren't changing, it's that we were. We were developing a new language among ourselves. If Admiral Byrd and an exploratory party are going deeper and deeper into the polar region, then things that they think about and are concerned about are interested and become less and less relevant to somebody living in New York City. This was our situation. We had the choice along the way of stopping to bring everybody else along or going on, but these experiences quickly became indescribable. I get to a point with my colleagues where I couldn't explain it any further because it came down to him who has had the experience, no explanation is necessary. To him who has not, none is possible. And we would feel this frustration when they'd say, it sounds very interesting. And we say, in order to know, you've got to try it. And they'd say, no, that isn't scientific. It's inappropriate to test your own product. It isn't inappropriate. It isn't appropriate to test your own product. You do it first on animals and then on graduate students. Bitch, it's the hi. Sorry, I'm not doing tarot. I'm reading Be Here Now by Ram Dass. It's very appropriate to do tests on yourself for your own product. Fuck you for saying animals and graduate students first. It's a quote. Ram Dass didn't say that, but they said it to him. Okay. Um, we're not very far into it, and I'm destroying this book as I'm reading it because that's the point. You annotate it, maybe. Okay. So the next week, we'd sit around on Saturday night and say, what should we do? And we all knew what we were going to do, and we would turn on. We were exploring this inner realm of consciousness that we had been theorizing all about these years, and suddenly we were traveling in and through around it. At the same time, of course, by the second, I'm very distracted by thoughts of you. Yes. Okay. I just thought that I could not be distracted for a second, and I was thinking about somebody who's so cute. Okay. Um, what the fuck was I saying? I cannot. Okay. Um, I'm just gonna take it from the top. Okay. So then the next week we'd sit around on Saturday night and say, what should we do? And we all knew what we were going to do, and we would turn on. We were exploring this inner realm of consciousness that we had been theorizing about all these years, and suddenly we were traveling in and through and around it. At the same time, of course, by the second week, it was as though we had just been traveling at Tibet and now back in the school lunchroom who do we hang out with? We hang out with the guy with whom we went to Tibet because we shared this very powerful experience. Pretty soon, there were 5 or 6 of us, and we were hanging out together, and our colleagues said, "Aha, a cult is forming," which was true for us. A cult is a shared system of belief, right? As to how to work with this stuff, Tim said, we don't know what this is about yet, and there are many models, but it would be best not to impose a model too soon because a model that exists in the West for these states is pathological, and the model that exists in the primitive cultures is mystic and religious. So it's better we keep it wide open. So we did what we would be called a naturalistic study. We gave the psilocybin to maybe 200 people who were physically healthy enough, and we said, you take it under any conditions you want, and all you've got to do is answer this questionnaire at the end, so we'll know what happened. You do it however you want to. So we gave it to jazz musicians and physicists and philosophers and ministers and junkies and graduate students and social scientists. And at the end, we had these 200 protocols. And the first analysis we did showed up very clearly that the reactions were a function of set and setting, a function of their expectations of what was going to happen and the environment in which they took the drug. If they had it in a very paranoid environment and they were expecting to have an excitement, they tended to have paranoid excitement. All it did was intensifies one's expectations. However, the data also showed something else. Out of these first few hundred, you could see that there was some kind of a stepladder of experience. There was a kind of probabilistic hierarchy of experience, so that the most likely experience everybody had was a heightened sensitivity to all of their 5 senses and speeding up of the thought process. Then the next type of the experience that people would frequently report was an interpersonal shift of figure and ground, where they would look at another person and see the way in which the other person was similar rather than different from themselves. And it was as if the whole Western mind training of individual differences had been made background instead of figure, so that you'd look at another human being and say, here we are. You'd see differences more as clothing rather than as core stuff. This was a profound perceptual experience for many people. For example, we have, yeah, this is from 1961 or something like that. For example, we had he was black. Okay, they mean black. All right. For example, we had a black psychiatrist, Madison Presnell, working with us, and I had been trained to be a very liberal person about black people, which meant that you didn't have feelings. Okay, what the fuck are we reading right now? Okay, what? I had been trained to be a very liberal person about black people, which meant that you didn't have feelings. It was a phony kind of a liberal thing. I went out of my way to be liberal, the very self-conscious kind of equality, and Madison and I turned on together, and I looked at Madison, and there we were, the same human beings. Okay. This was a Harvard professor in 1955. I'm gonna just like, we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna let it go. We're gonna let this slide about because we don't have time to discuss if we're reading right now. And perhaps like it was just kind of the ignorant times that they lived in. Yeah, it was. But I'm glad that they could trip together and he could realize that black people are just people. Okay, this is like awkward as hell to read out loud, isn't it? It's like so cringe and totally been there. But you already admitted you're like 30 years old at this point. I've probably said some cringe shit on stream, on live that I maybe shouldn't have said or maybe would regret if somebody played it back for me. But I kinda got all that jargon out of me when I was still, like, a teen in my early 20s, etcetera. So it's, like, very shocking to see how long it took people to come to these conclusions on their own when society was totally influenced and integrated and okay with everyday blatant racism. Anyway, I went out of my way to be liberal, that very self conscious kind of equality. And Madison and I turned on together, and I looked at Madison, and there we were, the same, hard to reread that, the same human beings. It was just that he was, oh, it's a man, it's Madison. He was wearing that skin, and I was wearing this skin, and it was no more or less than that. It was this shirt and that shirt, and it had no more relevance than that. And I looked at that, and suddenly there we were. Whereas before I had been so busy with my super liberal reaction to the color of skin that I couldn't relax enough to share this unitive place. Then there was a still less frequent type of experience reported, a oneness in which subjects would say, I remember being in a dark room with another person, and one of us spoke, and one of us said, Who spoke, you or me? It wasn't clear from whose mouth the words came. And then there was a stillness less frequent experience where one looked at somebody and he started to see the other person as a cellular structure or patterns of energy rather than as a person. And finally, a few subjects, maybe 3% or something like that, transcended all form and just saw pure energy, a homogeneous field. It had been called the white light. There was a research being done by the group with prisoners to try and change their rate of recidivism, recidivism, recidivism. And there were attempts with ministers. A study was run by Walter Pahnke and a group of the research community on Good Friday in Boston University Chapel with 20 ministers. Advanced minister training students, 10 received psilocybin and 10 a placebo. It was a double blind study on Good Friday in a chapel. It was absurd because a double blind study was absurd. Everybody knew something was happening. It was as if you were proving the obvious. Somebody who had taken a placebo, which made their skin crawl, reacted by saying, Well, maybe something's happening. And the other ministers would stagger into a room and say, I see God, I see God. And it was all too obvious in a short time who had the psilocybin. Okay. Now, my own experiences were horrible and beautiful, and I kept working in different environments and settings. And whenever anybody that I trusted brought along some new chemical, I would open my mouth and off I'd go. I was interested in doing this exploring. For example, at one point I had been in the meditation room in the community house we had in Newton, and I was for 4 hours in a state of total homogeneous light, bliss, and then I would recall starting to come down, and this huge red wave rolled in across the room. It looked like a cross between a William Blake, that picture of a wave sketch, and a Hieronymus Bosch painting. And it was all my identities all rolling in over me. I remember holding up my hand and saying, No, 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 no. I don't want to go back. And it was like this heavy burden that I was going to take upon myself. And I realized that I didn't have the key. I didn't have the magic words like abracadabra or hocus pocus or whatever it was going to be that would stop that wave. And it rolled in over me. And here I go again, Richard Alpert. What a drag. The drag. Okay, this is a short page, so I'm just going to read this and then we can take a second to talk about it all. But this is just like a 3-paragraph, 1-page thing. Read it real quick. Coming down. In these few years, we had gotten over the feeling that one experience was going to make you enlightened forever. We saw that it wasn't going to be that simple. And for 5 years, I dealt with the matter of coming down. The coming down matter is what led me to the next chapter of this drama. Because after 6 years, I realized that no matter how ingenious my experimental designs were and how high I got, I came down. At one point, I took 5 people and we locked ourselves in a building for 3 weeks and we took 400 micrograms of LSD every 4 hours. That is 2,400 micrograms of LSD a day, which sounds fancy, but after your first dose, you build a tolerance. There's a refractory period. We finally were just drinking it out of the bottle because it didn't seem to matter anymore. We'd just stay at the plateau. We were very high. What happened in those 3 weeks in that house, no one would ever believe, including us. And at the end of the 3 weeks, we walked out of the house within a few days, we came down. And it was a terribly frustrating experience, as if you came into the kingdom of heaven and you saw how it all was and you felt these new states of awareness, and then you kind of got cast out again, and after two or 300 times of this, began to feel an extraordinary kind of depression set in, a very gentle depression, that whatever I knew still wasn't enough. Okay, so I could not disagree more. I cannot believe these little baby bitches could not figure out how to fucking be happy in their everyday life after tripping balls for weeks on end. You fucking rat bastards, you rich white fucks, you ungrateful little pieces of shit. Holy fucking crap, bro. Do you hear these fuckers complaining about that? Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, yeah. We're not still mad about it. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have cussed at the book. Shouldn't have cussed at the book. I'm so sorry. Rom, forgive you for that. Oh my God, though. Like, what a fucking baby. What a fucking baby. That's what I'm saying. They, like, how can you, uh, bro, I, okay, okay, I admit, I might have been psychic regardless if I would have taken psilocybin or LSD or any of this stuff, right? So, because, okay, be fair, right? Be fair. I probably have these abilities that other people don't really have. I can see into the underworld. I can go to different planes. I can experience the whole matrix dynamic broken down and go visit anybody, astral project, all shit. I'm retired. I never had to do any of that stuff. I just liked it for the time being. And I can just remember all my trips if I really want to go there physically. But yes, you can access so many places in your mind. This sounds like some baby bitch bullshit to me. I'm sorry. I got to stop cussing over the book, but this page sucks. The coming down page sucks. And like you might have a come down. I had a hard time. I think maybe because I liked the amphetamines. And the come down from amphetamines is so much fiercer than psychedelics that like psychedelic come downs are just really pretty easy. Like they're just really not that hard. But I guess if you're not an experienced drug user and you've only really smoked pot and done like psych meds, maybe that would be more difficult for you. I get that. But like, oh my God, what a fucking baby. Okay, sorry. Moving on. Moving on. That's wild. I'm so confused by the picture of the other guy on here. It's really weird, but okay. Pretty cute. I think I just need a second to breathe. I was just reading for 30 minutes straight. I could probably get to another little section because the next section I think is only a few pages. Let me see. Yeah, I could. It's only 3 pages, 2 pages. Yeah, lay it on me, babe. I literally was thinking I was on an ad break for a second because I was waiting for Dom to tell me about his dream and like looked up and was like, the ad's not rolling. And then I was like, oh my God, this is an ad break. So I just guess I needed to decompress for the moment, which is pretty funny. But thank God now Dom's message has come in, and we no longer need to pretend to be having an ad break. So, yeah, okay, yeah, oh, yeah. Hmm. What night was it? Was this recent, I'm guessing? I don't really know what's going on planetarily. I think Pluto went into retrograde, which is interesting because that when a planet so far out in the axis starts moving backwards, it takes a long time to get it moving back forwards, basically, right? Because it takes so much centripetal force by the time you are pulled so far from the sun. I think that I don't know where that came from. But yeah, it's about the time that Pluto went into retrograde. So we're kind of going back to our roots. People are being shown the past because Pluto, I think, rules structure. I want to say it's like structure, like power systems and stuff. You'd have to look into it more. But Pluto, I believe, is Hades' planet. Can't remember though. Maybe Neptune is. Like Pluto is Hades' planet, but I can't remember. So, um, there may have been a lot going on. But if you know without knowing you know is definitely to rely on oneself and to be able to use your intuition. I think that you're being reminded of your gift, and that's why tarot freaks you out. Is because you're meant to walk a path that you don't want to go on. And you don't have to read tarot cards to go down that path, but you have to realize that it's more than just music that binds you to music. It's because there's a whole destiny at play, and there's something that's so great to you that you have yet to unlock, uncode, or understand yourself. And other people may be able to, someone like me who can hardly know you or see you and just know that you're amazing and tell you that, and you can believe it or not. But once you do, you'll unlock a bunch of stuff. Right, right. That's why I was like, tarot freaks you out. So I don't think you're like a tarot reader, but that's exactly what I was talking about just now. That's why I had that reaction to him saying, "Oh, the come down was so awful." Because it's like, bitch, have you ever had to fucking withdraw alcohol or something? Like, I haven't even, and that sucks. Like, don't get me started on like, oh, for us, we had to come down from so many mushrooms. Like, bitch, shut up. Like, that is literally why I never liked Ram Dass. Like, literally, I knew what I was talking about even when I was a fucking teenager, bro. And granted, we grew up at different times. We had all the spiritual teachers and leaders and experimenters and pioneers do these things before us, so we didn't have to. But again, that didn't really help assist in the trips. I just knew that my mind was changed forever because of what I saw. Like, I never chased a high. I chased the idea that I could share that high with other people. Okay? Like, I just never was one to be all into a drug so much that I could be blindsided by it and feel like the come down wasn't worth it or was, um, but kind of just saying that, yeah, I could access those places and spaces in my mind without the drugs, right? So I think that you can too, especially if you think you're very good at meditation. That's essentially what that is, right? Going to that place, you gotta go back. Okay. You've got to go back. It's from the Bible. Well, the Bible is spiritual, you have to understand. White men use biblical interpretations to colonize further and more in depth and not only like ritualistically indoctrinate people, but also like oppress them into submission to something that it's basically like Stockholm syndrome, right? The Bible's various interpretations have been way more evil than anything in the Bible. And those are very intentionally designed because they want you to feel like you're trapped into this and you owe them something and you have to act a certain control. Just racism being built into the government. I think that oppression is built into religion for the most part, for a lot of religious organizations. But the roots, but the roots of these religions. When you take out the organization, when you take out Gloria, when you take out does have spiritual roots because someone like Jesus was a spiritual teacher, just like Ram Dass, just like John Lennon, just like anybody you could say there. You know, like, oh damn, MLK. Maybe that's why. Might be you. Nobody else is complaining that I'm freezing, so I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe it wasn't your message. Maybe it was. Maybe I'll have to rewatch it. Maybe I did freeze. I don't know. What are y'all thinking? Should I keep reading a little bit more? I'm willing to read this next section. It's pretty short. And it seems like it's getting more and more interesting. Or should we just do little bits and pieces each night? Maybe just this next section and then stop. Yeah, because the next one after that seems to be a bit longer. Oh, way longer. Okay, so I'm down to read a couple more pages before we call it for the day. And wow, this is next section's very long. What happened here? I'm confused. It went from all these little ones to like, goddamn. Wow. Yeah, so we'll have to save that for next time, but we can do this one. I got 18 minutes till the ad roll, so let's go. Environmental changes. I'm reading Be Here Now by Ram Dass, by the way, if you're just tuning in. Now, at the same moment, there were obvious changes going on because that checking back over and over again to the inner place inside myself made me less and less attached to reassurance from the environment that I was all right. So I remember the moment when I was thrown out of Harvard. There was a press conference, and all of the reporters looked at me as if I were a prize fighter who had just lost a major fight and was headed for oblivion. That kind of look you have for losers, real losers. And they stood there looking at me that way. Everybody was looking at me that way. And inside, I felt what I'm doing is all right. Everybody, parents, colleagues, public, saw it as this horrible thing. I thought inside, I must really be crazy now because craziness is where everybody agrees about something except you. And yet I felt saner than I had ever felt. So I knew that this was the kind of craziness or perhaps a new kind of saneness. But the thing was, I always seemed to be able to skirt the line to keep it together. I didn't ever do anything quite crazy enough. I was the guy that people would come to and say, I look, would you come call I'm sorry. Would you call me? Would you just come call me? Would you just call me? Please. Quit playing. Just call me. Okay? Goddamn. Well, let me finish reading. Look, would you calm Timothy Leary? He's too far out. If you'll calm him and protect him and so on. And I'd say, I'll help him with pleasure, 'cause he's that great a being. And I'd help raise money and run the kitchen and clean the house and raise the children. Well, we realized then that what we needed to do was to create certain kinds of environments which would allow a person after being into another state of consciousness to retain a certain kind of environmental support for the new ways of looking at himself. After all, if you see yourself as God and then you come back from this state and somebody says, "Hey Sam, empty the garbage," it catches you back into the model of I'm Sam who empties the garbage. You can't maintain these new kinds of structures. It takes a while to realize that God can empty the garbage. He saved himself on that one. Now, in 1962 or 3, Tim and Ralph Metzner with him, I was just given author's credit because I took care of the kitchen, had come across the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which was a very close description of a number of these experiences. This book was 2,500 years old at least, and it had been used in all those years for preparing Tibetan lamas to die and be reincarnated. And when we opened it, we would find descriptions of 49 days after death before rebirth that were perfect descriptions of sessions that we were having with psychedelics. How could this be? The parallel was so close. Tim rewrote the book as a manual called The Psychedelic Experience, a manual for psychological death and rebirth, arguing that this was really a metaphor about psychological death and rebirth and not necessarily physical death and reincarnation. Tim had gone to India. Ralph had gone to India. Allen Ginsberg had gone to India. I checked with everybody when they came back. Then there was Tim, and there was Ralph being Ralph, and there was Alan being Alan. And I realized that they had all had a lovely experiences and seen a beautiful country and so on. But they were not finished looking for something. And by 1966 to 67, I was in the same predicament. I was aware that I didn't know enough to maintain these states of consciousness. And I was aware that nobody else around me seemed to know enough either. I checked with everybody I thought might know, and nobody seemed to know. So I wasn't very optimistic about India or psychedelics. By 1967, I had shot my load. Girl, what the fuck is she talking about? But did he get somebody pregnant? Was he married this whole time? Like, what in the fuck? He just says, if by 1967 I had shot my load. Bitch, that means one fucking thing in my language. What is he talking about? Let's find out. I had no more job as a psychologist in a respectable establishment. I realized that we didn't know enough about psychedelics to use them profitably. He did not mean what he thought he meant. Okay. He did not mean what he said. But at that time, I was still lecturing around the country on psychedelics to such diverse groups at the Food and Drug Administration and the Hells Angels. They grouped such diverse groups as the Food and Drug Administration and the Hells Angels. Then along came a very lovely guy, not gun. Jesus Christ. Okay, this is definitely the last section. We are all tired. It's just this little bit and a page, and then the section's done. So that's where we're stopping with the book for the night. And then I'll probably have to roll the ad, and then I'll chat for a second, and then I'm going to go. But I actually probably need a little water too. Um, I can read this in 10 minutes. By the time I was lecturing around the country on psychedelics to such diverse groups as the Food and Drug Administration and the Hells Angels, then along came a very lovely guy whom I had guided through some psychedelic sessions. An interesting guy who had gone to the University of Chicago in his early teens and had taught seminars in Chinese economics. Had started a company called Basic Systems, which had been sold to Xerox, and now he had retired. He was about 35, and he had retired and taken his $5 million or whatever he made, and that was now becoming a Buddhist. He wanted to make a journey to lead me to Tehran, and this was my way out. But what was I going to do at that point? So I left to go to India. I took a bottle of LSD with me, with the idea that I'd meet holy men along the way, and I'd give them LSD, and they'd tell me what LSD is. Maybe I'd learn the missing clue. We started out from Tehran, and for the next 3 months, we had lovely guides and most beautiful time, and we scored a great hashish in Afghanistan. And at the end of 3 months, I had seen the inside of the Land Rover. I had 1,300 slides, many tapes, recordings of Indian music. I had drunk much bottled water, eaten many canned goods, traveling in India. That's what was happening to me when I got to Nepal. We had done it all. We had gone to see the Dalai Lama. We had gone on horseback up to Amarnath Cave up in Kashmir. We had visited Benan. I don't know why I said it like that. Benares. And finally, we ended up in Kathmandu, Nepal. I started to get extremely, extremely depressed. What is with these white men, bro? I'm sure part of it was due to the hashish, but also part of it was because I didn't see what to do next. I had done everything I thought I could do, and nothing new had happened. It was turning out to be just another trip. The despair got very heavy. We didn't know enough, and I couldn't figure out how to socialize this thing about the new states of consciousness. And I didn't know what to do next. It wasn't like I didn't have LSD. I had plenty of LSD, but why take it? I knew when it was going to do. I knew what it was going to tell me. I knew it was going to show me that the garden again, and I was going to be cast out, and that was it. And I never could quite stay. I was addicted to the experience at first, and then I even got tired of that. And then the despair was extremely intense at that point. We were sitting in a hippie restaurant called the Blue Tibetan, and I was talking to some French hippies. I had given LSD to a number of pundits around India and some reasonably pure men. An old Buddhist Lama said, "Gave me a headache." Somebody else said, "It's good, but not as good as meditation." Somebody else said, "Where can I get some more?" And I got some range of responses I'd get in America. I didn't get any great peril of wisdom, which would make me exclaim, "Oh, that's what it is," waiting for something that was going to do that thing. But I finally figured, well, it's not going to happen. We were about to go on to Japan, and I was pretty depressed because we were starting that return now. And where was I returning to? What should I do now? I decided I was going to come back and I become a chauffeur. I wanted to be a servant and let somebody else program my consciousness. I could read holy books while I waited for whoever it was I was waiting for while they were at the Bergdorf Goodmans, and I'd just change my whole style of life around. I could just get out of the whole drama of having to engineer my own shit for a while. This is a funny foreshadowing, as you'll see. The despair was extremely intense at that point. I was really quite sad. Okay, I've experienced that too, but because of trauma, PTSD, PMDD, having periods, bleeding once a month, not because I did psychedelics, you fucking don't. God, sorry. Sorry, don't cuss on the book. Don't cuss on the book. I'm double checking this section to make sure it really was as long as okay. It's like totally very long, yeah. And what I'm gonna do is mark page from this one to the next one, you know what I mean? Let me know next time. That's where we leave off for tonight. That was good. I liked it. It's fun. We got 7 minutes to pre-roll, but I'm gonna just roll them now. Start cleaning up. Come back, chat for a second. I'm gonna try to make it to the 2 hour mark. Probably go a little past that because it's only 10 minutes and I'm not super tired. But I kind of want to keep reading, but my own book, not my book. That's misleading as a writer. I shouldn't say my book. The book I'm reading personally, and I also want to start a few things. I want to start reading all the books I have at the same time. So I'll be back in 3, even if it's only for 10. Okay, so since we're not doing tarot on here anymore, really, for a while at least, I feel like I should make, I've got like my chat box, my tarot box. I need to make an art box, and I think I should make a reading box so that if I'm reading, I can just say that. Cool. So, like I said, came back on here just to kind of wrap up. I'm gonna hit the 2 hour mark. Does my streams replay do better the longer they are? Um, but yeah, okay. So I hope everybody had fun tonight. I had a great night. I had a great day and great night, great week, great life, great life. There was a huge chunk of it that was wasted, um, you know, being traumatic. And now I prefer to just add a little theatrics, you know? So it feels good to be overcoming so much so quickly, too, because it takes a lot and a very special person to do what I do, but here I am doing it. And it may appear to be easy and it may appear to be a job that anybody could do, essentially, but you can't. Only I can because it's my job. Because it always was, and it always is, and it always has been, and it always will be. Because that is time traveling. That is literally how this works. That is literally the whole point. That is literally what we're doing. It's what we have been doing. You can't just say, I want it. You know, it's already mine. It has always been mine. Okay? And I know it's hard. I know it's hard because if you want something so fucking badly, somebody tells you that you can't have it. That hurts. I get that. You can't take things from other people once it's already theirs. Okay, so say your piece. How's that song go? How's that start? What song is that? Every silver lining's got a touch of gray. 555. I will get by. Do, 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 do. I will get by. Do, 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 do. I will get by. I will survive. Because it says in the beginning, say your piece and get out. That was about the gist of it, cause that's alright. You want to hear this other cover I was working on? Because I do like the interpretive covers, right? How did it go? Oh god, it was so funny. It was okay. I'm sorry that you hated everyone who wasn't famous. 'Cause you took all of our shit and you didn't credit it. And now you are complaining. That's what I got. Okay. That was the best I could do. That I liked it though. You know? I thought that was cute. Um I'm not gonna do that one. Not gonna do that one. But can do the other one. Can do the one I'm working on already. Um, anyways, I don't know when I'll be back. I cannot remember sometimes what day it is. I'm a time traveler. I always know the time and never know the day, right? that's that's my favorite joke of all time. Bold to say as a time traveler. Okay. Listen. Okay. Don't listen then. I'm cute as hell. Don't care. I was gonna look at a calendar. I was literally gonna look at my calendar. This is my okay. This is a iPhone. I can never remember. Customized this. Oh, it's right in front of me. Okay, so today's Tuesday. I can probably stream tomorrow. No, 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 no. Might not be able to stream tomorrow. Could stream tomorrow. Might not stream tomorrow. Probably stream Thursday. Might stream Friday. Might not stream Saturday. Don't know about Sunday. Probably stream Monday. Don't have a schedule anymore. I was being courteous to my previous living situation when I made my stream schedule, and I don't have to be courteous to that schedule anymore. So I'm just like, kind of just do it whenever. I was gonna stream last night, and I was too fucking tired. You know what I mean? Like way too tired. So I just kind of skipped it and worked on that. I think right all night until I passed out early. Because I had not slept the night before, and then I woke up like depressed. I like slept so long I was depressed when I woke up, and then I like took 20 minutes and was like, I'm awake now. I'm no longer depressed. I was like, damn, I slept so long. And it's like, dude, you still the whole day. It was just like so crazy. Um, that's cute. I am crazy in little ways like that. You know, I just don't think I'm as crazy as everybody makes me out to be, is all. Um, anyways, it's kind of cute. Yeah. It's a little kooky more than anything. I'm creepy and I'm kooky. I'm altogether spooky. You might as well. Like, I was gonna say something so funny, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. Um, the Adams like Lolly. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. 2 hours. I did it. So here we are. We read a little Ram Dass. We talked a little bit. We did. But that's all. I think that's gonna be all. I'm so excited to go read more books and write more songs. So love you all so much. Um, can't wait. I just oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't wait, except I already did my whole life. So, no problem. All right. Mwah. Love you. Good night. I don't know why I said be right back. We're playing ads. No, I'm not going to do that to y'all. Like, there ain't nobody here to do it to. No, it's okay. We're going to go. Probably see you tomorrow. Maybe not, though. Might be emotional day. Depends. Love you so much. Very much. Good night. Once more. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Mwah.